Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day. I want to spend just a moment talking about who St. Patrick was, because I really wonder if you'd be really overjoyed by how we celebrate today with green beer and wearing green and things like that going on. There are so many stories and rumors about his life that it's really hard to pin down exactly who he was, but we do know a couple things for sure. We do know that in the years 300 that the gospel of Jesus had already penetrated Britannia, and so it was changing the world and spreading from around the world, from Jerusalem to there. And because of that gospel, it affected Patrick at those days. He was a slave. We do know this. He was a slave, and he escaped Ireland at the age 16 and went back to Wales, where he was grabbed as a slave. And whether it was a dream, whether it was just in prayer, we don't know. There's stories, but he felt a passion to go back to the people of Ireland to share the gospel of Jesus. And so, risking having to be a slave again, he traveled in something called a conkle. A conkle is just a little boat without sails, trusting the current to take you. And he said, if I'm supposed to be in Ireland, God will carry me there. And the conkle took him to Ireland, and he spent the rest of his life sharing Jesus Christ and changing lives for eternity there. This is one thing we do know. He did come out with what we call St. Patrick's Prayer, St. Patrick's Creed, his breastplate. He did say this: with Christ beside me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ within me, Christ beneath me, and Christ above me. That was his motto. That was what he lived by. How do we live by that? How do we really celebrate St. Patrick? He gave us 5 things that he believes is really important to awaken this passion for Jesus Christ. And the first one is admit we need to be awakened. That is so easy to fall into a slumber. The second one is the reading of the Psalms, and to pray, literally pray the Psalms back to God. The third and fourth one are real close. Worship of God, but not only worship of God, corporate worship of God. So we worship God by being outside, by knowing the beauty of his wonder, but then coming together as a body and worshiping God. And then reading of the liturgy. He literally wrote liturgy. And I know in many churches we don't do liturgy, and it can become just rote words coming out of our mouth. But imagine that we are saying words responsively in a church that were read by others for hundreds and hundreds of years as an expression of serving God. And lastly, communion. So what am I saying with this? People, we live in an age where we need, can I call it the spirit of St. Patrick, well, there is such a thing, to awaken us, because we live in an age where people are trapped, they're in bondage, in a greater slavery than just being a slave to do a master's work. And I'm praying with you that we could celebrate St. Patrick in this way, that God would one more time awaken us to a passion to see our nation turned around. So because of that, happy St. Patrick's Day. Have a great day.